Computer technology is so built in our lives that it's part of the surround of every artist. Good day, I am Trisha and Ganados,
I'm Therese, Zyra, Lipang,
and
we
we
are
are
your
reporters
reporters
for the topic How Computers Work to Control Bus. How computers work. So the basic part of a computer are the central processing unit, or also known as CPU, memory, a keyboard or other input devices, and a screen or other output devices. So review, when we say input devices, it enters or sends data and instructions from the user or from another computer system, while output devices sends back the administered data to the user or to another computer system. So in short, a computer is a machine composed of hardware and software components. So how does it work? A computer receives data through an input unit based on the instructions it is given, and after it processes the data, it sends it back through an output device. So there was this question: how does a computer add or subtract, and how can its memory remember the answers it computes? So humans, we understand human language, of course. The computer, on the other hand, can understand machine language, because we all know that a computer does not have a human brain inside, but it acts in many ways as though it does have a real one. So let's compare. For example, when a person types on the computer's keyboard, the human brain identifies the letters, numbers, and characters combined to create words and sentences, right? But the computer does not have or does not recognize letters as letters of alphabet. Why? Because it sees as a series of zeros and ones, and this is called binary language. So let's proceed to computer number systems. So there are four computer number systems, which are decimal, binary, octal, and hexadecimal number system. So let's start with the decimal number system. So this is what people or human beings are using for counting, measuring, and computing. So this type of a computer number system has 10 digits, starting from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So the second one is binary number system. So just like what I've said a while ago, that a computer only uses a series of zeros and ones. So apparently, it only understands two digits, which are 0 and 1. The third one is octal number system. So it comes from the prefix of octa, which means it uses 8 digits. So the last one is hexadecimal number system. So from the word hexa, it means 6, and deci means 10. So therefore, hexadecimal number system uses 16 digits to represent its values. So as you can see, we have here a picture of a table about the equivalent number systems values of decimal, binary, octal, and hexadecimal.
So, quick question. How do computers interpret data? There are a series of steps as to how a computer interprets data. And these are: first step, from the keyboard, pressure pads are typically found underneath each key. Upon typing a letter, the pressure pad sends information to the CPU for processing. Second step, the information is then transmitted in the form of zeros and ones using the ASCII code. Third step, the CPU determines what character has been typed and sends the information to the computer monitor, again in zeros and ones. And the last step, the monitor displays the information in its equivalent character, this time readable and understandable by humans. So what is ASCII? ASCII stands for American Standard Code for Information Interchange. It is used by majority of computer systems for converting characters into zeros and ones. The ASCII code is a 7-bit code used to represent letters, numbers, and basic special characters. Just like the uppercase character A, it represents as 0100, 0001 in binary, 101 in octal, or 41 in hexadecimal system in ASCII. And here we have the ASCII printable table in case you wanted to see the other characters or letters that is included in the ASCII code. You may also pause or stop the video in case you wanted to copy. Interpreting data's keywords and their meanings. First, programs or codes. Programs are the byproducts that programmers create so that computers can do specific tasks. Number 2, programmers. Programmers are just simply those people who write or create programs in the computer. Number 3, programming or coding. Programming or coding is the act of writing or creating programs in the computer.
So let's continue. How computers communicate with one another. So computers uses different ways to connect to certain devices. Like for example, the computer monitor uses a wire to connect to the computer unit, while the mouse wirelessly connects to the laptop or etc. So it depends on the situation. So computer uses different ways or connection methods to do their tasks.
Another option that can a computer connect to other devices is through the other device's wires or a USB or even a Bluetooth option. For example, you have a hard drive and you wanted to transfer a file from your computer to your hard drive. So you will use a USB port. Or if you wanted to connect your earphones or headphones to your computer, mostly computers or laptops nowadays already have an earphone or headphone jack. Another one is through connecting it through your Bluetooth. Nowadays, mostly computers or laptops already have a Bluetooth option so that it is easier for people to connect their other devices, their phones, their tablets, to their laptop or their computers.
System bus. What is system bus? A computer system on its own communicates through what is called system bus. So, it is a pathway composed of cables and connectors used to carry data from a computer's peripheral devices such as monitor, keyboard, mouse, and etc. to the CPU or the central processing unit and the main memory, and that is system bus. So as what we can see, we have here the simplified diagram of a computer system implemented with a single system bus. So there are three types of the buses, which are the data bus, address bus, and lastly control bus. And take note guys that this was popular in the 1970s and 1980s.
The three types of system bus: the data bus, address bus, and control bus. First, what is data bus? A data bus can transfer data to and from the memory of a computer or into or out of the CPU. Example is the pieces of information that traverse the data bus includes files transferred from a flash drive to the computer's hard drive, or a document sent to the printer for printing. The second type is the address bus. The address bus is used by the CPU to specify a physical address for instructions, files, and other devices within the computer system. For example, in a given computer unit, there are typically 6 to 8 USB ports. The address bus is responsible for checking of which of the USB ports has a printer connected to it, along with the mouse, keyboard, speakers, and sometimes even external drives. Finally, the third type is the control bus. A control bus is used by CPUs to communicate with other devices within the computer system. As the address bus carries the location of the data being sent and the data bus carries the actual data being processed, the control bus carries the commands or instructions from the CPU. It also sends status signals from the devices identifying if it is ready or not. The typical read or write commands are identified through the control bus. For example, if one tries to save a file to a flash drive that is already removed from the computer will notify the user with an error message saying that the folder or drive where the file is intended to be saved are no longer existing. Also, by having a control bus, the CPU sends a hot instruction via the control bus, stopping the data to be sent through the data bus, often seen as an error message prompt. So that's the whole part of our report. Thank you for listening and good day.